All right. Well, welcome. Hello, everyone. My name is Marlo Narro, and I'm the Global University Director for the Center for Sacred Studies. And I'm so happy for you all to join us here for our Q&A session, our second one that we've had for our MTP Ministry Training Program class starting in June of 2027. So we're going to do this about a 90-minute call where we can share more about the program and also answer any questions you might have. So the first thing we're going to do is just go around and introduce ourselves so we can just all know who's on the call. And we're just going to state our name and where we're living. So my name is Marlo Nara, like I said, Global University Director, and I'm living in Riverside, California, Southern California, also the land of the Luiseno peoples. So thank you. And Darlene, go next.
Hi, everybody. I'm Darlene Hunter, the Center for Sacred Studies Spiritual Director, and I live up in Northern California, north of San Francisco, and here is the ceremonial territories of the coastal Miwok and the Pomo peoples. Welcome, everybody.
All right, Margine.
Hello, everyone. My name is Margine Brou, and I'm a CSS communication coordinator. I live actually in Mount Shasta in North California, on the land of the Shasta tribe. There is a lot of tribe over there, so 7. So welcome and happy to see all of you.
Thanks, Margine. Okay, Lyla.
Good morning, good afternoon to everyone. My name is Lyla. I'm currently living in Los Angeles, the land of the Tongva people.
All right. Thank you, Lyla. Okay, we'll just go around here to Kathleen. Would you like to open up your mic and introduce yourself?
Thank you. Hello, everyone. I'm Kathleen Whitmire. I spent my time between Greensboro, North Carolina, and the Blue Ridge Mountains in the northern or the western part of this state. And many nations passed through this state over the centuries, but primarily we are known as the Eastern Band of the Cherokee.
Thank you, Kathleen. All right, Ingrid.
Hi, I'm Ingrid Kropf, and I live in Europe, in Portugal. So for me, the language may be a problem. I need to speak Portuguese and then English, and that's sometimes mixed up. But I'm living here, and I'm very happy between the mountains, and I'm very connected with the Celts and with the runes and that sort of things. So that's why I'm thinking about following this course.
Thank you, Ingrid. Thanks for joining us.
Welcome.
Okay, let's see. Rodika. Is that how you pronounce your name?
Hello, yes, Rodika.
Hi.
My name is Rodika. Hi, everyone. I'm with my little boy here. He ran away. I live in Eastern Europe, in Romania. And, well, I sent my application letter a few days ago, and I'm here to, I don't know. I'm a little bit excited. Thank you, everyone.
Great. Well, thanks, Rodika. We're so happy you're here.
Yeah.
Okay, let's see. Abigail.
Hi, everyone. Abigail from Amherst, Massachusetts. I'm afraid I am not as versed in the actual tribes that were here as I should be, but it's a good reminder for me to educate myself. So thank you.
Thanks, Abigail. Okay, Angela.
Hello, my name is Angela. I am of Cherokee and Muskogee lineage. I currently live in the traditional lands of the Mountain Shoshone, which is now referred to as Wyoming in the United States. Thank you.
Thank you, Angela. Okay, let's see, Anastasia.
Hi, everybody. I'm Anastasia, and I am currently in Western North Carolina, just outside of Asheville in the land of the Eastern Cherokee. Very happy to be here.
Thank you, welcome. Okay, let's see, great, Laura. Laura.
Hi, I'm Laura, and I live near Asheville, North Carolina. So I'm also in the land of the Eastern Band of the Cherokee.
Thanks, Laura. Thanks for joining us. Okay, Elaine.
Hi, everyone. Nice to be here with you. My name is Elaine Gast Fawcett, and I am dialing in from Guilford, Connecticut. It's just outside of New Haven, and it is the land of the Monunketuk and Quinnipiac peoples.
Thank you, Elaine. All right, let's see, Susan. Oh, muted.
Hello, can you hear me?
I can hear you now.
Okay. Hello, everybody. I'm Haichka OCM. Greetings in the language of the traditional Tsleil-Waututh Nation and Squamish Nation and Musqueam Nation. I'm on the stolen unceded ancestral lands, and the colonized English name is Vancouver, Canada. So nice to meet everybody.
Thank you, Susan. Thanks for joining us.
Thank you.
Oh, wonderful. Let's see. Did I miss anybody? I don't think I have. Wonderful. It's so wonderful to see everyone here. Thank you for coming. And I'm going to turn it over to Darlene for our opening prayer.
Oh, wow. Thank you. We're all over the place. We're coast to coast here and in Europe. Beautiful, beautiful. And all over South America. So thank you for introducing yourself. Thank you for being here today. Let's just take a breath and a moment and feel ourselves arriving right here, right now in this present moment, and open our hearts and connect with Mother Earth below us and this great star nation above us, and say, "Ho, Holy One, Creator, Mother, Father, God, you of many names, and you who are nameless, we give thanks to you this day in all the different times of the world that we are sitting in, from the morning to the evening and beyond. I give thanks that we have the prayers of the sacred sites that we're sitting in, the sacred land that we're on, that we've been praying to, that so many have been praying on before us, that we have the hands of our ancestors supporting us and encouraging us, that we hear the wisdom of all of the directions, the elders, the old ones that are speaking to us. Give thanks for the elements, the earth, the air, the fire, the water, for these times that we are in, a Holy One. You've called us to stand firmly in our skin right now, to walk forward with a clarity during this time of the chaos and the confusion, where the systems are falling down and the possibilities that are birthed through chaos are forming. It is an important time for Mother Earth as she is in her ascension process, and we have said yes to being here in this moment. It's scary, and it's brings up fear and discomfort and unease. And we're told by the Kagaba Nation, the Kogis from Colombia, that if we pay attention to what is breaking down, for our systems are breaking down, but we focus on what is breaking through, that we will be able to support Mother Earth in her transition as she holds us and the earth with all of her beings. I give thanks for each and every one that are here today, for those that are going to be listening later, for their hearts that have pulled them in their passion, to have a mind that is open with curiosity and wondering. how to stand up and serve this great creation. I give thanks for the Center for Sacred Studies and all those that have come together, birthed through our community, Kayamari, that are in service to this divine creation. I give thanks for our elders and the guides that have been guiding us so long, for the whisperings of the prophecies that have been around for so long, talking to us about the times that we're in. I give thanks for those whisperings that are helping us navigate these times that we are in. Oh, Holy One, you know why each and every one of us is here today, and I give great thanks for that spark of life and awareness that brought us here into this circle. And Mother Earth, I give thanks for all of your relatives, all of the cosmos, all of those helpers, those guides from planets and galaxies, all of our spirits that are here today, all of our helpers. I give great thanks for that we are not alone in this change that is happening. So many have come before us. So many will come after us. And through that, I have such gratitude and joy for these young ones. This little guy that was on the call with us is on the call with us in the background with his mama, for it is the next 7 generations, for it is life creating life that we are here, that we are serving life in all of its various forms, that we can have unity and diversity, that we can say no to the separation and we can say yes to unity, knowing that we are all connected. I give thanks for this ministry training program, this pilgrimage that you put in motion so long ago. So long ago. Thank you for all these gifts that you've given to us. So many gifts. And our responsibility to share these gifts with others. We've been so busy in our doing, O Holy One, that we take this moment and come back to our bodies and our spirits and are in the moment of harmony and peace and unity and be in a place of our human beings. There's much to do, and when we have our eyes open and our hearts wide open and allow our eyes to see with the compassion and forgiveness, that we can act with kindness and harmony towards ourselves and others, and that we are always your walking prayer. So give us the strength in this moment to continue on as my Unchi Beatrice long visitor holy dance Lakota Sioux Nation said to us right before she dropped her skin and came home to you to be with her relatives, keep on keeping on, for the world needs us. So here we are today, circling up. I give thanks for this time together. I give thanks for learning more about each and every one of us and our desire to serve you, this holy creation. Thank you for the technology that allows us to be joined together through all of the time zones that we are in, all around you, Mother Earth. For there's a calling now for us to wake up, for us to stand fully in our authentic beings, in our very, very authentic nature, and serve from our heart and from our soul. And for this, I give great thanks. I give great thanks. I give great thanks. And so it is. Aho.
Aho.
Aho. Thank you, Darlene. Beautiful, beautiful prayer. Thank you. All right. Wonderful. So I know we had a few more people join us during the prayer. Welcome. Just for your information, we are recording the call, so it'll be available later. But I wanted to Darlene, I think you are going to be talking about the history of Kayamari and Center for Sacred Studies.
Yes. Do you want to
Yeah, let's do it.
Let's bring you two in. Yes.
Yeah, so kind of okay. So we prior to the prayer, we did go around and just introduce ourselves with our name and where we're living. And my name is Marlo. I'm the Global University Director for Center for Sacred Studies, and I'm living in Riverside, California. It is the land of the Luiseno peoples. And so if we could just go around and to those who joined, I think Perry. Perry, would you be able to introduce yourself?
Yeah, hi. My name is Perry, and I am in Woodacre, California, Marin County, and I'm happy to be here. I did mystery school about 15 years ago.
Wow, yay.
Thanks.
Awesome. Good to see you. Thank you. Okay, Michelle. Michelle up there in outer space. That's great. Do you want to unmute yourself?
Tap to unmute.
Oh, there you go.
Okay, there we go. Hi, I am Michelle. I am currently in Texas, East Texas, to be in fact, living on a homestead. And so yeah, that I didn't know what else I was supposed to mention other
That's
than where
good.
I was.
Yes, thank you, Michelle. Thanks for joining us. Wonderful. And let's see, is there anyone? I thought I heard a few more dings, but I don't see anyone else. Is there anyone else that has not introduced themselves? I don't think so. Wonderful. Well, thank you. And thank you, Darlene, for guiding that to get everybody on the call. So are you ready to talk about our history?
Yay! I love seeing faces, so I'm glad that you all joined us. Thank you. Well, one of there's so many things that are so many ways that we have available to us in these times of our awakening and our looking to take our next steps. There's something that's been, they say that our suffering pushes us, until our passion pulls us, and so I'd like to share a little bit about our community, because I think it's really an important for us with so many offerings in the world to know a little bit about the Center for Sacred Studies and where it came from, so that you can see how the growth has been happening, so that you get to know us a little bit more. We, like you, we had a calling for something that was pushing us. And over 30 years ago, probably 35 years ago, we're in our fourth decade, many of us came together. Of course, in that time, we couldn't come together like this. It was physical meeting places. And we started running into people like we do when we manifest. We started running into people that were of like mind and like-hearted. And we realized that there was a thread of something that was sparking us and waking us up. And so our community, this beautiful community called Kaimari, birthed itself from each of us following our dreams, listening to our calls, listening to the visions that we were getting. And we came together. We wanted to have a safe place to pray. We wanted to have a place to wake up together, to grow our food together, to raise our children together, to come back to our spiritual center that lives inside each and every one of us, remembering, recreating a world where our relations are about longevity, about not funding this throwaway society that we had grown into when we started breaking up communities in that sacred way of life. So in 1995, many of us had met Joe T. and Russell Park, and through various doorways of circles or breathworks or different places, spiritual emergence training, ITP in our growth process. And this germinating, this place of wanting to have a place where we could actually call home, where we could actually do that, grow our food, raise our children. And so in 1995, with Jotun Russell as our spiritual elders, we went up the mountains to the foothills of the La Sierra Nevada mountain range, north of Yosemite in California. And it was there in 1995. We're going to from rooting ourselves in land. It will be 30 years now. We knew each other before then, but this year is our 30th birthday. Wow. And so we became a Kayamari village, a global spiritual village, then grew from that. So in this time and age, we have communities in Europe. We have a community in the Czech Republic that's 25 years old. We have land there, and we hold teachings and workshops in this sacred way that we've been given by this Holy Mother Earth. And this beautiful divine creation, our flavor, how she talks to me is this she. There's many flavors of the divine. I think Russell Park, in his wisdom, once said to us is that the divine is like ice cream. There's many flavors. You might like chocolate, you might like strawberry. I liked cherry Garcia, but it's all ice cream. So in this way, that's the Holy Mother that has been guiding us. And so as we went up this 13-mile logger dirt road in Columbia, California, we started an adventure that no one could even, I know I couldn't have even planned, because, the mystery works in mysterious ways, is that elders started coming up the mountain, different lines of prayer. They started sharing their wisdom with us. They saw something really good that was being birthed that way. And so they began to teach us and instruct us and share with us their teachings and their lines of prayer. And as we grew, we used these tools that Mother had given to us, and these tools about remembering how to live in community. All of our family of origin things were always worked out in the kitchen. It's all about the nurturing place, about food, but we used these tools and it grew us, and these teachings started sharing more things with us. So as our community grew, and it expanded, it started to shift. And then prayer rolled into motion when we realized that we needed to create another aspect of ourselves, a business arm, so to speak, of sharing these teachings with others in a more formal way. And so as we looked around what that structure could be, in order to protect our ways of prayer, the Center for Sacred Studies was formed from our spiritual community. And the Center for Sacred Studies is a nonprofit religious organization that was created in 2001 to protect these lines of prayer. And it took us a while. We sat in circle, we talked about it, we took it to ceremony. We weren't sure that we were mature enough to hold the shadow, a lot of shadow around the church. But with guidance, we did. We became this nonprofit religious organization in March of 2001. And as she does, she has amazing, impeccable, beautiful timing. It was in 2001 in September when the Twin Towers were hit in the United States, and our entire country went into martial law. And the only things that were protected were religious organizations. And so we were able to still hold our ways of prayer and keep them protected that way. And so as we continued on, what we do the best is we follow process. We follow the promptings that we get from our dreams and our visions. We follow the promptings and the wisdom of the prophecies that were handed down through First Nations peoples. We follow the process. You know, I share we don't really know a lot necessarily. We know what we've lived through, and we trust the process. So we continue to listen to those visions, to the promptings, and then in 2002 we started to hear the messages about the grandmothers. We started dreaming about grandmothers, hearing when the grandmothers speak. When the grandmothers speak their wisdom, the world will shift and change will take place. We'll start waking up and be in alignment with the laws of nature and Mother Earth herself. And we just kept listening and listening. And then in 2002, we started to move forward on that prayer, and we started to convene. Took us 2 years to convene the International Council of 13 Indigenous Grandmothers, which was made up of 13 grandmothers that were contacted through our community. There were more that were connected, and 13 answered the call. It took us 2 years to convene the very first meeting of these grandmothers with Western women and advocates and ones that had done so much for our world and for women, that in 2004, we were in Menla, New York, the home of the Dalai Lama, where this first gathering of the International Council of 13 Indigenous Grandmothers, which they named themselves, began. And we continued to hold and convene them until like 2014, where they began their own organization that way. And so there's still there today, and the ones that are helping us still, who have crossed over, still guiding us. And so it was a little bit later, as we were being taught and mentored by the wisdom of these elders. Many of our community came around and were helping hold these global circles. So many were coming to listen to the grandmothers. And so as that happened and more people came to us, the next step in our building of ourselves is that as a church, we were approached about, we need to have ministers, and what would that look like? And a lot thought and pray and ceremony around all of that. And then in about, the end of 2006, Jotima, who I think I'm seeing has entered the call, and another co-founder, Wendy, and myself, with the guidance and the approval or the encouragement of the community, said, yes, let's move forward. So we opened the channel and we meditated to listen to what it was that she was wanting us to do. What was she wanting her ministers to look like? What was she wanting them to know? And so we opened that doorway, and we opened that prayer, and she channeled in the ministry training program itself. And as she has, as you might know, a sense of humor as well, is that we were living up in 160 acres in the middle of the Stanislaus National Forest. There was no real Wi-Fi there when we got there. At one point in time, we got the little box phone so that we could have a way of connecting out. So when she shared with us a 2-year online community, because she told us that there would be a time that we would not be able to travel, and that it was time to activate all these points of light around the world, because we were going to need them. And so here, people came up the mountain, took some classes, and helped us create this program and all of its technology and all of its Wi-Fi, because it was, like, oh my goodness, how are we going to do this? And everything flowed into place because we followed process, because we followed her. And she created this 2-year program we'll go into more of that, where we have 11 modules, and then we have a retreat where we gather together, and we have another 11 modules, and then we have the last retreat, the ordination graduation retreat. So now we are actually in the process of, in May, graduating. The first class started in 2007 and became ordained in 2009 up there at the Cayamari Mountain. And now this year we will have our class that will be ordained in 2005, and we'll have about 300 ministers of walking prayer all around, activated as points of light on our beautiful Mother Earth. And so the intelligence of this consciousness for each group, each class that comes together, is called to come and stand in a certain point in time. Right now on our earth, there's so many things that are happening. There's so much separation. There's so much shadow that has been revealed to us at this point in time. As we say, inside, outside, same side. So we're taking a look deep inside ourselves as what that means to us now. And how do we walk in a place of unity and ceremony where all life is sacred? And this ministry training program, I like to call it that it is a pilgrimage. And we get to embark upon this pilgrimage of opening and understanding more about who we are and what our authentic gifts are. And as we continue to walk together each month on this pilgrimage, the modules that Mother gave to us, that follow process, build on each other, and they bring about this beautiful reflection and change that is about bringing our sacred soul and walking fully present in life that way. Some of the information that shows up might be something that we really, really like and it speaks to us. And some we might be going, I don't know about that. I'm not sure I like that. This process, though, is about bringing ourselves to our highest point, the good of all, and the integrity that allows our own being to shine forth in this time now, because she called us all here. We all said yes to being here during this time right now on this beautiful Mother Earth planet, as she is going through this ascension process, as she is shaking herself and having the winds blow through and the rains coming and the fires burning, this purification that she's going through. So it's this time of, can we follow the laws of nature that she has been guiding us to listen to in order to become fully present, to be her emissaries of light? And we get to do it together. We get to walk through this place together. And what I love about all of this is that each time I sit in circle, because I'll get to be on this, we'll all be on the sacred side, this sacred walk together. Each time I get to be in the sacred circle with each of you, is that I learn so much. The earth is changing and it's rearranging, and we are needing to grow and change with it. So each time the group is called to start and stand in this pilgrimage process, I'm just so very much in awe. And why we do this, as I said earlier, is for our next generations. I'm looking at these little guys, the little person in front. I always like to show the little baby Yoda, holding all this wisdom right there in that little globe. And so all the wisdom you guys share, we're here for you. This is why, for our next 7 generations and beyond. And it's a part of a healing process. So when we heal ourselves, yes, we heal for our next 7 generations, but it's also generational healing. So we heal our ancestors that have already encouraged us to be here in this moment. So I just want to say thank you for here. And because Jyoti Ma is here and got to come on the call, thank you. She's our spiritual director, our guide. She and Russell are the ones that I've been talking to you about. Many of you already know her. And so, sis, I want to turn this over to you to see if you want to add some things. And thank you for coming on to the call today. Yay!
Well, I saw that I'm usually booked. My calendar is absolutely off the charts. I'll introduce myself first, so my grandma won't be happy with me. I'm Jyoti. As I got older, people started calling me Jyoti Ma. And as Darlene has been telling the story of a mystery, because my elders say a story is stalking you. And when you're strong enough to hold it, then it pounces on you and it swallows you. And I found that to be the case with the story that Darlene has just moved through everything. And here you are poised with with this understanding inside that something called you here. We don't do a lot of advertising around this, so when she's called people, they come, they gather. We have the size of class where everything gets taken care of in a good way, and then we open the class and it moves through. When Darlene was sharing with you about the story about when we first got this, it was about a year or two into it. The mother said to me, there'll come a time when you won't be able to travel. I've sent to you those that will hold points of light so that the waves of consciousness can continue to move during that time. And we didn't know what that meant when it was first given to us, but when the pandemic struck, we all knew what it meant. And so I share that story or reemphasize that story because when we catch something, we usually that is telling us what she's needing us to do next. We have a council of elders over the years that we've walked with so many that have initiated us into this mother law, and we bring things to them to see if we are hearing it correctly. And when they say yes, then we catch it, even if we're not sure what we're catching yet. As she's been describing, that was the case in every situation. Could we create an alchemical process that you could do virtually with us? Because at that point, we were doing it in person, and then everything changed. But she brought a way to do that is virtual. She set it up in the formula so you don't get to meet each other till the end of the first year. So it's you're kind of doing one of those where you're walking through the door backwards kind of moment. People say, well, Jyoti, you've got to have a retreat first so we get to know each other. But no, she said she wants you to just be transparent, let it all hang out in the table, make relations through the work you're doing together, and then you meet. And the bonding after such deep, deep work for everybody is so beautiful and so strong. And after the second year, when you come to ordination, she comes to bring, to anoint those that she called. And when we opened it, we didn't know, maybe she was only calling a few and then we'd be complete, but she still got us flowing it out to you and this reach of the year that is possible to come together. And what a year it is, because we, and as a community, have served the Eagle Condor prophecy most of our entire time as a community. We didn't know it in the beginning. Elders came and shared with us later, as they've done with most of the things they've passed to us. They came up our 14-mile logger road and found us and initiated us in some of these ways. And so the timing, as Darlene said, is impeccable. She's the greatest alchemist of all, and she knows exactly what your soul is needing, that needs the curation of this year we're sitting in. So that Eagle Condor, it says the ending will fall into the beginning in 2026. They told us in 2013, when they opened this part of the Eagle Condor prophecy, that we were about to enter the great cleanse of 13 years. And if you go back to 2013, you start watching what's undoing itself through this cleansing process that's been so strong. And now we're here in this 13th year of the great cleanse. And you're considering coming to sit down at this table with the fire of the little ones right in the middle of it. So we can listen to them and we can prepare what they're needing next. This is a circle that it welcomes all family. So in some of our circles, we've had 4 generations of family going through trainings at different times together. We have works during the summer times for the little ones up to through the teenagers, where we've come together to do that. We have a community outside of Prague that will be turning 27 years old this year. We're almost 40 ourselves because we met as a community before we got our land up there in 1995. That's where some of this stirred itself. But she brought this formula. And when we opened it the first year, we said, well, we'll see if this is really, if we caught it. And the feedback we got was amazing. It was very on fire and very alive with this. And no matter what level of you're working at in your own, realization process, in your own bringing a presence into its full authenticity, that's the walk we share together. That's what all of us share together. And so, it's like, here we are in this 13th year of the Great Cleanse. This is the ending falling into the beginning. And when we got this message years and years ago and started to share, because they wanted us to share about this, as most of our original people that we know, our relatives with, and they walk with us, they guide us. We like to say that we're feminine driven and indigenous led. So it comes that way. The way the formula opens you, in my experience, is that wherever you're living in yourself on your own destiny path, it takes that next part for you. Each class takes on some big shadow piece of the collective. So this class, wow, calls for the warriors of our time, calls for all the light beings that are walking with the light of this new dawn to stand up and claim this moment. Turn on your light so bright. And it's what will be the walking of the new dawn through this time where the Kali Yuga is ending. On March the 29th of this month, the Kali Yuga has ended. So all of these prophecies, all of these things that have been shared for generations and generations and generations are flowing into our dialogue today. And each one of you have your own ancestry line. Each one of you is coming because that ancestor put their hand on your shoulder and said, this way, you need to go this way right now. So take your time. Really look inside with all of this, because it's a huge spiritual moment that's opening itself to you. And we honor everybody, the diversity of all life and the many, many forms of that the divine. My husband likes to say, when you're getting ready to sit with God, you got to find your right flavor of ice cream. Every part of us finds that place where that God is like that yummy ice cream moment you get to have, because then you're going to sit down even through the trials and some of the challenges and the work of waking fully to presence. You're going to be there where the passion of it all is the hottest and the most yummiest, huh? Because this is a joyful celebration moment, even with all this stuff that we're talking about that's happening right now. So I just wanted to thank you for listening so deeply to something inside. Thank you for coming to sit and talk to us and ask your own questions about, what's important to you. How can we, because when we started doing all this work, I was like, oh my goodness, how are we going to do this? I felt a bit overwhelmed by it all. And the mother came and she said, daughter, you must always start with the seed of it all. And the seed of it all is about relations. If you start there, everything else rolls out naturally. And so I've found that to be a very big truth. So I want to just come in here today because I was able to. I don't usually get to join these calls. So I thank you for having me come and sit with you for just a few minutes. I don't want to get in front of those and what they've got on the agenda for you today. But I just want to recognize you because you're here sitting and listening, and we want to listen to. We want to make good relations. No matter where our path takes us, it will always be that way then, you see. So I hand it back to you, sis. I hope that I didn't cross anything over in the wrong way, and that I brought part of the story that would just light the fire inside the one you already set. So thank you.
Thank you. That's great. It's lovely that you were able to pop in and join us, because we can all feel that. So thank you, sister. Thank you for all the ways that you and Russell as well, have guided this community for so long in all the places that we get to sit. It's such a mystery, and it's so magical that who would have ever thought of it? It's beyond our wildest dreams. Raise our kids inside of it. So I want to also then just say thank you, and I turn it over to you, Marlo. Thank you.
Wonderful. Thank you. Thank you, Darlene and Jyoti. Beautiful. And my heart is smiling big right now. Thank you. All right. So I am going to start going over the program structure. Give me a moment while I share my screen. And that is not what I'm wanting here. What's that? Here we go.
And while you get ready, I just want to say thank you, Jyoti. And I know that you might have to flow off, so please take care of yourself that way too with what's next. And it's yummy to be able to see you this way.
Absolutely. Thank you. And if I do flow away in a little while, because I don't want to disturb, and any of you have questions, you can always send them to Margine, and we can connect that way too. All right. We all want to support you and what your inner choicing is about.
Awesome. Thank you. Wonderful. Okay, so I'm going to go over the program structure. Again, my name is Marlo, and I'm the Global University Director for the Center for Sacred Studies. I've been walking with CSS since 2011. I was ordained in 2013 with a water clan and have been around ever since. With the format of this pilgrimage, as Darlene mentioned, it's a 2-year program. And our offering is an mostly online program, except for the 2 retreats, which we'll talk about a little bit more, of 22 modules of monthly instructor calls that have audios and videos. And in addition, every month there's also an elder wisdom offering. And these are 22 teachings with stories and wisdom shared from our elders all around the world. So it's just a beautiful compilation of instructors and elders that we've been so gifted to have as part of our program. And here is year 1 and year 2. These are all the different modules. You will be getting a recording of this call. So if you want to look at this a little bit more deeply, we go from following the flow of prayer to prophecy in year 1, and in year 2, we start off with earth-based ways of prayer, and we flow all the way down to practical applications. And after the first year, we're going to have our first year 1 retreat, and that's when we all get together as a class. And the retreat will happen in the western region of the United States. So this year last few years, we've been going to Cedro Woolley in Washington State. It's a beautiful retreat location. And many years we've also had our in-person retreats in Northern California. So as the time gets a little closer, we'll let you know exactly where that retreat will be. And then the second year is our ordination, our year 2 retreat. After we're done with all of the course material, we'll meet together for our second year and our ordination retreat. And in addition to the 22 modules, each of you, if you decide to be in the program, will be assigned a mentor. And this mentor is really a special part of the program. They get to walk alongside of you for the entire 2 years. You'll have monthly calls with them that are about 45 minutes to an hour, where you get to reflect and share and help integrate the material and ask questions and just be together on this spiritual walk. The mentors, we assign them based somewhat on location, but really Spirit does the assigning, divinely assigned in that process. And we also, she considers time zones as well, because I know there's people from all over the world that are going to be in the program. The monthly requirements, so every module, every month, there is, like I said, the instructor video and audio, as well as the elder video and audio. Those are about, the video portions average about 30 minutes, and the audio is a little longer, about an hour. Every month, you'll also have a live instructor call, which is really great. You get to be with the class, all your classmates and the instructor for 90 minutes once a month, as well as an additional call with Darlene, our spiritual director, for an other 90-minute live call a month. And that's a great place where the class can get a fireside chat moment with our spiritual director and just kind of help integrate the teachings for that month as well and be together. Those are also recorded, so if you can't make a live call, then you are able to listen to it later. You also meet with your mentor. Every month has reading material. We have one book, almost all the modules, it's one book that's assigned. If there isn't a book assigned, then it is like a podcast or another kind of video teaching, but usually there's one book, and a lot of the books, not all of them, but a lot of them are also the ones that you can do on audiobooks. So if you're wanting to listen as opposed to read, that's an option. And then also every month we have a practicum. So the instructor will assign a practicum for you to sit with throughout the month that is related to that instructor's teaching. And lastly, with the monthly requirement is the reflection paper. And this is a very, it's a one-page paper, which really the goal is to help integrate the material. It's not like a graded paper. It's something that you can sit down with your heart, connect in, and reflect on the teachings. A lot of times people will write papers, but there's also the option that sometimes you might want to do an art project or write a poem or sing a song or have a video or something. So those, you can also be creative in your reflection, and you can work with your mentor on that. Your mentor will also be getting your reflections and be able to respond to those for you. And we just put here, this is just an example of what it looks like on the website, in the portal, the student portal that you'll have. And Jyoti Ma's our very first instructor, following the flow of prayer. So if you can just kind of see what a layout looks like, how there's the video and the audio, the practicum is highlighted. And then also for that first month, we have Shatui, who's one of our elders, spiritual leader of the Northern River Bear Medicine up in Northern California. So she is our first elder wisdom offering. And you can see here that there's a video that she offers, and then also an audio of her teachings. And then, all this information is on the website as well, but just to go over it here, we are taking applications until May 20th. We just completed our first iteration of applications that ended February 28th, but we are now in our second phase, which is from March 1st to March 31st. So this is pre-registration, so there is a $300 discount if you're able to apply before that date and register March 31st. And then we'll be taking applications until May 20th. And the $500 reserves your spot in the program, reserve your seat. And then just like a little bit more in reflection of what the requirements for ordination and to get the certificate at the end of the program. It's to complete the financial commitment and complete your course material. And in addition, there is, which I haven't mentioned yet on the call, is a breath work requirement. So for the first year, there's 2 breath works required. In the second year, there's 2 breath works required. And you can kind of sprinkle these breath works in the year, each year. And the purpose of the breath work is to help also integrate the material. So you're getting a lot of aspects with the mind and the heart, and the breath work really helps integrate the material also and do some releasing in the body. So the breath work is a requirement, and then also both in-person retreats are required to get the ordination certification at the end. And Lyla, who's on the call and is going to be going over this next part with you, is our registrar, and she is available for any questions that you may have, and she's the one that you would be sending applications to. So that is what I have. And after Lyla, after a little bit, we'll be taking questions from you all. So Lyla, would you like to go over the application process?
Yes, thank you. Okay, let me see. And for those that just came, my name is Lyla. I'm currently living in Los Angeles, in the home of the Tongva people. And I've been with the CSS. I met all them in about 2015, and I joined the ministry during COVID. And so, and I haven't left, just like Marlo. So here we are. And I will share my screen with you. So I'm going to take you to the website. Can everybody see okay? Okay, so here we are. We're on this page, but you would click on the ministry page, ministry training page, and I'll just scroll down very slowly here. If you haven't already looked at this, and you may have because you registered for the Zoom. So we'll go here to the enrollment process, and it has the pricing, the full year tuition. So it'll be $300 off this total price here, $6,995. What you'll do is you read all this and calm down a little bit more. There's flexible options. You can pay monthly, you can pay once a year, you can pay in full, you can pay 4 times a year, twice a year. So you can take a look at that. And here we are, the application. So this is a PDF, or you can also decide if you wanted a Word document. So you would fill this out and you email it back to me at, where's the email's on here? Yes, here we go. At this email here, mtp@thecenterforsacredstudies.org. And Margine will send me a copy of your $60 application fee, which you would use this button here. And then we'll get you applied, and we will get back to you within 10 working days. Usually it's a little bit sooner, and if it's closer to the deadline, it might take a little longer because we might have more than one person applying at that time. So here's a little bit more of the payment info, the pricing, the refunds, scholarships, and then the auditing. the auditing, you will not have a mentor. You will be able to come to the classes, and you'll be able to come to the classes, read the books, and be a part of the community online. Okay, so we have more questions here. If you're not sure, you have more questions after we get off the call. Who are the mentors? She went over that. There's also, I'm going to show you one thing that I find really interesting here that can also help you with more questions. Here it is. I'm going to go slow. Here we go. This right here, this pamphlet. There's everything that we're going over today is going to be in this pamphlet. So I'm not sure if I click on it, you'll see it. So I'll just leave that there for you to look for yourself. But yeah, there's lots of information on here. And that's it. And if you have any questions, just let me know. I'm here. I check my email pretty much daily. And if you have an important question, then I'll get back to you. No problem. And if you have further questions, we can set up a call. Okay. And that's it for me. Back to you, Marlo.
Wonderful. Thank you, Lyla, so much. And Darlene, if you'd like to just talk about the mothership for a couple of minutes before we open it up.
Yes, I in this alchemical process, I want to pull it together. You've seen a lot of things now, and as Josie was sharing, this formula that she's given to us is that we are in our brains and we're reading and we're listening to audios and videos of our instructor as well as our elder. We're also having our instructor call live on a Zoom where you're going to get to interact with the instructor. You'll get to hear and listen to the elders. And the breathwork part of that is about being able to integrate into the body the teachings. So it's part of that alchemical process. Breath work also allows us, it's a cathartic experience, allows us to move energies that are no longer needed, things that are stuck, trauma that we might have, to allow new space to open up inside ourselves in order for us to, realize in our body what it is that we are learning. When we work with a mentor, and we have each month, which is also another amazing deep relationship, and they're all ministers who've gone before you, so everyone's gone through this class. Many are ministers again, and as they are mentors more than once, and as they go through the mentor process, they retake the class again. So there's always new levels of learning. And that hour time, 45-minute time with them each month on a call. Also, when we speak about something and we hear ourselves speak about something, it's another level of integration. And that reflection is a way to put it in words. If you're a writer, put it in art, put it in, so as Marlo said, all those different aspects of itself. So each component of this formula she gave us is to prepare us for when she comes, as Jyoti was saying, and initiates through the ordination doorway, then it's complete. And part of what we also offer for you is that we have with the Center for Sacred Studies a way to keep in community. Right now, we just are reaching out to one another, and we so need community. One of our elders, Milo Yellowhair, talks about what we need right now is community. We need our community ceremonies. We need to come together in community. And so it's a way to be part of the community of the Center for Sacred Studies of Kayamari, and it's a virtual doorway. So you will actually get a 2-year membership that you may choose to keep going with it after you become ordained or graduate on your own, just to be continuing to be part. And there's 2 offerings and sometimes more a month that way. So that's also part of building this community of people that you can lean into, because right now it's all about leaning into ourselves as we go. And we're starting the questions already. I just want to say the ministry training program, we never know exactly when she is wanting it filled. We have one point in time in our history, we had a class start, I'll say like 2025. The next class started 2026. This one graduated in 2027. 2026 will graduate in 2028. And it fluctuated. We don't always know. We let mom decide if this is the year. We've had a couple years where we called it after 7 years, we went quiet. You know, after 7 years in gardening, and you know, you let the field go fallow so that it nourishes itself again. You know, so we said, okay, you know, she's running the show. We're just following process. That's words you're going to hear a lot. We just follow the process. So in 2025, you will have 2 years and you're going to graduate in 2027. We didn't have a class in between the class that's graduating right now. We opened the doors to see, and the energy wasn't there. So we just see how that works. And yes, if you are a member already, I believe, and fill that in right for me, you will not be paying for the time that you are in the ministry, and then you can pick it back up again after that. There are alumni we have, that are continuing to support the Center for Sacred Studies. You will be part of that group. You can interact as much as possible. And then we offer a Center for Sacred Studies ministry membership, so that afterwards you'll have access to the material that you've already taken for 1 year. Not the private calls with students, but the material itself, because sometimes they're changed and they're upgraded. You know, we did a major upgrade after 2020, and then new material comes in, and the instructor might change their module. So you'll have that connection to that material that way as well. Okay, so we'll open up to all the questions, and maybe we can just put it on the other kind of view, the gallery view or whatever, so that we can see each other. So I think, Marlo, do you want people to raise your hand, and then we can hear your voice that way too?
We have, Susan has a question. If you want to, do you want to read it in the chat, or I could read it to you?
Great. It's hard for me to keep watching the chat, sorry.
Okay, I could watch it. I'm curious what ordained ones are doing after they complete the program.
I would say, what are they not doing? You know, this is a ministry of walking prayer. And that name came about after 2009, when the first class became ordained. We didn't, again, following process. And they also, when they became ordained as the first group, they said, we are the butterfly clan. And it was like, wow, we went from this formula and this little caterpillar. We didn't know if it would work, as Joe T said. And then we kept showing up going, wow, kept showing up. Wow, this is wow. And then when they graduated, it was like this fully formed butterfly that touches, it's magic, it touches all things. And they said, we're the butterfly clan. And it was like wonderful. And then the next class graduated, I think they became the Hummingbird Clan, and that became a tradition that each class brings something special for the time that we're in. And each class that graduates, becomes ordained, creates their own clan name. As you heard, Waterfall Clan. I'm one of the founders of the Center for Sacred Studies in Kayamari, and so Kayamari is a Huichol word for the blue deer, where blue deer walks on this beautiful land. Medicine grows that help heal community, and so so we said, okay, we're part of the Blue Deer Clan, woohoo! So because I went on my, I have these elder moments. I went on my little thing. What was the question? Say it again. I'm so sorry. Susan,
okay.
What was your question?
Do you have it, Lyla?
Susan is.
Curious what. Oh,
Susan's
okay.
going to say it.
Oh, okay.
Oh, what they did. Thank you.
Yeah, I was just curious what, even just a few examples of what the ordained ones have been doing since completing the program. I'm just so curious about that.
Great question. Thank you. So I was circling back around to you. So good to hear your voice. Wanted to go in two things. From everyone comes in we become walking prayers, and so whatever is their passion, what is guiding them. Some came in to say, I don't want to marry anybody, I don't want to do this, I don't want to do that, and then all of a sudden people are asking them to hold ceremonies for them. So many hold ceremonies. Some are already in the field of working with people. We usually have some of the other ministers that are on here, but we can also check, obviously these three here on the call work for the Center for Sacred Studies as well, but they also have their own practices and their own things. So how about if you guys answer some of that?
Yeah, I think that people, there's a lot of ministers that create their own spiritual counseling practices, have their own offerings. We have a couple ministers who join together and are offering the 13 moon teachings, and they also have their own lines that they offer to their communities. There are ministers that do officiating of weddings and different baby blessings, and also at the end of life, sitting with people at the end of life. It's just so many. There's so many magical things that people are doing with their ministry for sure. And for me, like personally, I stepped into the ministry program at that time of my life, just wanting to really grow myself in my spiritual path. Like what do I want? I was just so curious and like growing and within myself that I just wanted to soak up the teachings and learn and explore, and evolve in my own path. And so I felt like for me, the first few years after ministry, I was just like stepping more deeply into who I was as a person and what impact I had in the world and my own work that I was already doing, like my own job that I was doing. So yeah, that's my 2 cents on that. Anyone else have anything they want to share? No.
Lyla, Margine.
Lyla or Margine.
I can speak.
Yeah.
So there's, we have leaders of churches, leaders of organizations that come and, they don't have a ministry background and they're finding that they want to learn more about earth-based ways of prayer. This cohort, we have people from the South here in Southern California that really wanted to dive deeper into the earth-based ways of prayer. Because there's not that much in the South here in Southern California. And we have a church leader. We also have a woman that's a cranial sacral. She works with people as I'll say like a spiritual counselor, spiritual coach. And in my own life, I am a certified spiritual counselor through my university. So I did the programs at the same time. And for me, it worked, not for everyone, because it is quite a bit of reading. And I'm finding it developing in my life. It's like I started like Marlo did. I had no wish to use it anywhere. I wanted to work on my own life and really ground myself in these teachings. And over time, it's been developing itself into its own unique form for myself.
Mm-hmm. Abigail will get you in a second. What I also wanted to say is that we have lawyers and accountants. We call them infiltrators, is that basically we, in this conscious awakening that happens inside ourselves, whatever our gift already is that is working us, we just have there's a place. What I notice is that there is a sense of awareness and a sense of being aligned with the prayer that guides us. And it doesn't have to be one way or another. I know that when we sat down to catch mom's formula, and I wrote down what would I want to know if I were going to be a minister, because that wasn't something that I was thinking of doing myself. So the teachings that you receive are really about how to navigate life. And so whatever that is that speaks to you, I remember in my early days, and I forgot who this was, um, um, when we wake up, we want to wake up so much, and we want to show up, and it's like, okay, where's my path? What am I supposed to do? I think I asked this once driving down the 14. I don't know what my path is. What is my path? Here I am up on a 160 acres, took my two little girls up there with me. What in the world? My family had no idea what in the world that I was doing, right? And it's like, what? Well, you're standing on your path already. So what is it? Sometimes it moves people totally into a different direction, and sometimes it reinforces the direction that they have. Many people go into their offices and they just hold space and set sacred container in their rooms in a way that mixes and mingles. And so, it's the consciousness walking, which is what happens. So I hope that's a little bit, it's your mystery unfolding, Thank you. Thank you. And Abigail, yeah.
Abigail.
Yeah, hi. Thank you. It's so nice to be in the circle with all of you. I just have a couple of questions. I do have to go in like a few minutes, so hopefully I can condense it. So one is a very practical, I guess I'll just share the questions all at once. One is very practical. It's about the reading, and I'm just curious, like, I don't know if readings have been chosen for this next cohort, and if not, like maybe some examples of books that are worked from. And then the other question is, I'm wondering what spiritual traditions are drawn from, how those are chosen. This is kind of a bigger question. And also, like is there permission, and like how are different traditions honored in this program? I know Jyoti, from what I know of her, like really brings a lot together into one space.
Many questions. So if I miss something, let me know. Yes, what I want to say is that we are really diligent about appropriation and about the way that our elders have walked up that mountain, as I shared, and shared things with us. They have qualified us to tend to certain ways of prayer. And the people that are on the instructors themselves, who bring their own teachings to the circle, are sharing their own individual lines of prayer or their knowledge themselves directly. Okay, and all of them we know. We know them. We've been walking with them for a long time. Some of, I think you mentioned the books. I don't know if you have already, but you saw the way that you saw the list of the 22 modules. Getting on the website, you'll see a little bit more of a blurb about it, and there's a place where you'll see the person that who the instructors are. That gives you a little bit more information about who they are. And then in some cases, that instructor might change from year to year their book. For instance, in one of the ones that I'm an instructor for is, gosh, I'm not remembering. I'm having one of those gap days with my memory, is following the prayers action. And so one of the books is the book is After the Ecstasy, the Laundry by Jack Kornfield, for instance. Okay. And so there's inspirational books that way that really cover the what the module speaks to, right? And those can change. But you'll get the book list of things as they come. Some are books that are so old that you're like, why are we looking at this one again? Things have changed. Things around community, because we've forgotten how to be in community. So some of the early books about those things are there. So it depends. It just it's part of the mystery of what you'll get. And then there's a practicum. That's the other thing. There's a practicum every month. After you read the book and you're listening to the instructor is going to say, this is what I'd like you to do this month. And again, so that you can embody the teaching. And then there are some things that we're going to have that might go over all the course of the 2 years, recommendations, that kind of thing. I don't know. Did I get everything? Did I touch most of it?
It's really helpful. Thank you. And yeah, as we were talking, I did like briefly look at the website. It's like, oh, there's more information here. So I'll be going through it in more detail. So thank you.
Okay. Thank you.
Okay. Other questions?
Yes, I have a question. Since I'm in Europe and I hear about books, then I think, oh my gosh, do we need to organize our books ourselves? Because it takes at least 6 weeks to order a book from the United States to Portugal. And that's something, I don't know how that works. So that's a question.
Margine, you were going to speak to that? Or the way that goes?
You're going to have the list of the books for the modules, the complete list of the modules at the beginning. So you know exactly the first year there is 11 modules, and you go to have a list with all the books for all this module on the website. I can show you if you want.
And how many costs are involved to get all those books, if there are lists?
Well, they all vary. So it's like if you do end up registering, maybe we can send you the few first books so you can get ready to get those, get those ordered.
Because there's a lot of problems with the customs around here to get books from the US to Europe. They do insane things. It takes at least, if it ever comes, 6 weeks or longer. Because I don't know what they do, they read it or I don't know. And then it sticks with customs, and then you're happy that you ever see it. And then you need to pay extra costs to get it over the border, and it's a lot of problems. So that's something for me to need to know, because I'm very interested. I don't know why I'm drawn to this. So I'm a little bit into a hurricane to go to you, and I don't know why. I don't know even what a minister of the walking prayer is. So I'm completely overwhelmed by the drawing of for a few years now, and now I think I need to do it. So there are a lot of things I don't understand at this moment.
Okay, I can, let's keep in touch, and
Yes,
I'll reach out to some of our ministers in Europe and see how they did it. And so we can keep in that dialogue, and I'll help you figure it out.
Okay, that's great. Maybe they share books, or I can loan them or whatever.
Yeah,
that would be great. Yeah, and that's a question. And there was another one. Oh, that's the books. In Europe, because I hear a lot of your things around, but how is it working in Europe? I don't know. What are they doing? Because we don't have old native knowledge. All our old native knowledge from the Celts and that sort of, and the Basques are killed. The Roman Catholic Church was very thorough in Europe, and we don't have that old things around anymore. It's more difficult. I was in the US for a long time, and that's more easy because you have those beautiful speaking rocks, and they speak here, but we don't have old tribes who tell us how to deal with. So we need to figure it out on our own. And that's a little bit different than the US have, I think. So a lot of things whirling in my mind, and I know I need to do it, and I don't know why. So I come, but don't ask me
The
why.
mystery has swallowed you, Ingrid.
Yes, yes.
We do have a number of people in Europe, as was shared, and we have a number of people who are really already holding different ceremonies in that tradition that you're speaking of that way. So there's part also of that connection that happens, you know, and when you step into the field, that, you know, so what I know in my life is that when the mystery really swallows me and I follow the process, is that those connections will start to present themselves,
Great.
you know, and then we
I go
will,
for that.
we can, you know, we can see, you know, we have a beautiful woman who's been a mentor for us a long time, who she and her husband are very, that's their life as well, you know.
Great.
Yeah, thank you. And thank you for the question, and keep
Thank
talking,
you very much.
keep reaching out to, you know, Lyla is the registrar, and then she doesn't know something, she keeps, she'll connect with all of us so that we're
great.
You know,
Thank you
find
very
that.
much for answering.
Okay, thank you. And I know we're getting
Thank
really
you.
close. If we can stay on a few, because then we'll see. Radhika.
Okay.
Hello. I just wanted some reassurance about if you could, just some reassurance that other mothers did this and had made it possible to graduate with little children around. I just wanted to hear about that a little.
Yes. Yes. You know, we've always been about family. So we actually had one mother who just had given birth, and as she was being ordained, her little newborn was being breastfed, given mom's holy sacred milk, you know. We had her grandmother there also so that she could help out that way. So ordination, retreat especially, families are welcome to come and be witness and support those that are, those of you who are ordaining. But we've had a lot of moms, you know, and a lot with small children, a lot being born during the 2-year process. You know, we call them our minister babies. So yes. And it's when you live life, and this is, you know, call it a program, but there's this formula that encompasses where we are right now. That's part of the alchemy. And I'm sure you'll be learning a lot from your children as you go along, as we do still, you know. And it's what I've found was that it's just an added yumminess to it. And it's work, you know, finding time for sure. But when the mystery swallows you, we can do it, because the mystery's swallowing us all. Yeah.
Thank you very much.
Yay. And thank you for being here on the call. So I just want to I know that we are at the place of leaving. If you have I just want to honor this time. But I just want to take a moment, and if you have more questions, please contact Lyla, excuse me, one of those days, Lyla, because we want to tend to you and answer all of those, and just being conscious of the time. So in this moment, how about if we just take a deep breath? There's been a lot of thoughts. There's been a lot of things swirling around. You've got a lot of information download in this hour and a half so far. So let's just take a breath and close our eyes if you can for a moment. And as we breathe, allow your mind to just relax and soften. And With your next breath, just take that breath down through your body and into the belly of this beautiful Mother Earth, and just feel her holding you, supporting you, just every moment of every day. And breathing again, breathe her energy up through your body, all the way up out the top of your head, and connect to this beautiful cosmos, this star nation. And connect with all the helpers and the guides that are here for our highest good right now. And breathing in again, bring that energy down through your body, and just connect once again with your heart, that beautiful heart of yours. And breathe in peace, and breathe in gratitude, and breathe in unity. As you breathe in, smile and breathe into this present moment. And breathe out love, and breathe out kindness, and breathe out compassion, and breathe out unity, and breathe, precious moment. And as you continue to breathe, just open and check into the wisdom that sits inside your heart, your largest intelligent organ in your body. And allow yourself to feel, see, hear, if this is the next step for you. For a pilgrimage is a commitment. It's a commitment of time. There's a commitment of money. There's a commitment of being open and present. There's a commitment of doing all of the work that it takes in preparation in order to climb those steps and put your prayer down at the feet of this divine creation. And breathe in again and know that however it is that you choose to walk, let your walk be full of ease and grace. Let it be gentle on this earth, and know that however it is that you are being your authentic self in the moment, you are loved and you are cherished. So breathing again, come back into this present moment. Breathe into your heart as we connect with all the hearts on this call. Thank you for being here. Thank you for being born in this time, for putting skin on so that you can walk with this holy creation and make such a difference by the very essence of who you are. So thank you, thank you, thank you. Have a beautiful day. Thank you, Marlo. Thank you, Margine. Thank you, Lyla.
Wonderful, thank you. And we'll be sending out the recording via email, and our next Q&A will be April 16th at 9:30 a.m. Pacific time. So feel free to join us again if you would like, and please reach out to Lyla with any questions. Thank you for being here.
Thank you, everyone. Open your mics. Hope to see you soon. April 16th is the next one if you'd like to join us then. Bye.
Thank you.
Bye.
Bye.
Mami, devo acqua poi alcol.